On Monday, October 13th, the renowned environmental activist and academic Dr. David Suzuki was in the St. Lucie area to raise awareness and support for the Coalition for the Protection of Mont Kaaikop. Several MCK Chiefs were in attendance, and Gina Deer welcomed the visitors and Mr. Suzuki.
It's very nice to see everybody here today, and Mr. Suzuki, it's a pleasure. I like to say that I would like to thank Annie Dufour, who came to me about the Mt. Kaaikop, and she had talked to me. She said, Gina, you know, this is going to affect your community, and I would like to see you involved. So I went back to the Mohawk Council. We talked about what was happening here, and we said, yes, we need to be involved. It's going to affect our community of Tioweró. It's going to affect the hunting and fishing. So it was very important to us. So we became involved. So we want to thank the coalition and Annie for coming to us. I think not only preserving the mountain has been accomplished here. What has been accomplished here has the non-natives that live around us have come to know us, better understand us, and formed a friendship with us, which I think is very important. Also, it's given other people insight to what we face as First Nations people, because we are about the land. We are about protecting, preserving, and utilizing only what you need from the land. I'd also like to say to Mr. Suzuki, I'd like to thank you for being here. It brings awareness to our cause, and it gives validation to what we're doing for the environment, being somebody in your lifetime, having devoted your life to the environment, and recognizing the need to save that and not the dollars. The dollars don't matter when you damage Mother Nature. Nyawa.
Thank you.
D'être ici avec vous. Je pense que la montagne est heureuse aussi. J'ai entendu que tout le monde ici est bilingue. J'espère que c'est vrai, parce que je ne suis pas bilingue. Je parlerai en anglais, excusez-moi. I am so happy to be here to celebrate with you. I am charmed. I am utterly charmed. Thank you and congratulations. You see, there is a battle going on for the future of this planet, for the future for our children and grandchildren, and you are at the leading edge of that battle. It's against those who see all they see as resources and opportunity to make money. You are talking about something very, very different. And as I look out here, this beautiful setting, I'm reminded of one woman near Buffalo, New York, Lois Gibbs, who noticed that her children were sick all of the time, and she began to ask her neighbors, are your children sick? And discovered all kinds of respiratory problems and cancer because she was living at Love Canal. And Lois Gibbs formed an organization just as you have and fought against the government, fought against the chemical company, and finally got restitution from the government and from the company. That's what you are a part of, a great tradition. Congratulations for that. Many years ago, I was asked by the Lytton Indian Band, a First Nations group, and they asked if I would come and help them fight to keep logging from coming into their sacred valley. That valley was the Stein Valley, which belonged to them, and the BC government had given New Zealand logging company, Fletcher Challenge, the right to log that valley. And they said, please, will you help us fight to protect it? And I said, okay, but I'm going to first see the valley for myself. What will I be fighting for? And so I took my family and we went camping in the valley, and it was a beautiful area as you're living in here. And as I was coming out after 5 days of camping, we met a group on the trail and began to talk. And we knew they weren't campers. The ladies were in dresses and high heels. The men were in suits. And very quickly I realized, oh my goodness, this is the CEO of Fletcher Challenge, the company that's going to log it. And very quickly he realized, oh, this is that shit disturber, David Suzuki. And we began a discussion that became very heated. And finally, in frustration, he said, listen, Suzuki, are tree huggers like you willing to pay for those trees? Because if you're not willing to pay for those trees, they don't have any value until someone cut them down. And that's when I realized that is the mentality that is destroying the entire planet, that looks at everything in terms of what is their monetary value. And what the Lytton people were telling me was there was something far more profound about the existence of that valley and the forest in it. And so that was a very important education for me, to realize there are values beyond dollars and cents. You are all aware that right now Enbridge is a big company is trying to push a pipeline from the Alberta tar sands to the west coast of British Columbia. I have been into every one of the First Nations communities on the coast. They are desperate for jobs and economic development. They beg to have jobs. They have a high level of unemployment. Enbridge and the government has offered them millions of dollars, and all they have to do is sign a form and let the pipeline through. But they are 100% against the pipeline because they are telling us there are things more important than money. And that's what you're here talking about. So let me end with a story that has changed my life, because Indigenous people around the world have been my teachers who have taught me very much. In the late 1970s, I decided to do a program about a fight against logging in Haida Gwaii. These are the islands off the northwest corner of British Columbia. And for years, the Haida people and environmentalists had been fighting against forestry, fighting against the logging that was going on. So I decided to do a film, and I interviewed loggers and forest executives, politicians, environmentalists, and I interviewed Haida. And one of the Haida leaders fighting against forestry was a young artist, and I said, why are you against logging? Your people need jobs as loggers and in the forestry industry. What difference does it make to you, you're an artist, if they cut the trees down? And he said, well, yes, we'll still be here when the trees are gone, but then we'll be like everybody else. And I thought, what is he talking about? And as I thought about it, I realized that he was saying, we as Haida people do not end at our skin or our fingertips. To be Haida means to be connected to the land, that the rivers, the forests, the birds, the fish, the rocks, all of that is what make the Haida who they are. The land involves their history, the culture. The very reason why Haida are on this earth is told to them by their connection to the land. And that's the kind of issue that you're raising here. There are things far beyond our economic system, and you're struggling and fighting to show the rest of the world that those values are important. So I thank you. Thank you. Thank you for the fight. Thank you for arranging the beautiful day. I'm sure you did a Sundance today, and you guaranteed that. Thank you for that struggle, and carry on. I would like to say that my wife and I would like to add $2,000 to the coalition to help you move forward. Thank you.
Thank you, Nathan.